Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, I'm Matt Barnsley from the Render Garage, an automotive designer from Australia. Right now, I'm standing in the middle of the biggest and best car show on earth, the SEMA show here in Las Vegas. For me, this is where design and imagination collide. Everywhere you look, someone's pushing the limits and creating something incredible. Over the last few days, I've been diving into the halls, and as a designer, it's been awesome. I love to see where the things are heading and where the design trends are going. There are some clear trends emerging from this year, from modern wheel designs, 3D surfacing, to popular engine combos and interior styling cues that keep popping up everywhere. These builds aren't just about looking cool. They're showing us the future of the custom car design. So if you're into seeing where the industry's going, stick around. Let's take a closer look at the design trends shaping SEMA 2025.
SEMA always delivers when it comes to big ideas and wild builds, but this year felt a little different. You could really sense a bit of a shift in design, technology and craftsmanship, especially at the pointy end of the industry. The tools, the talent and the thinking behind the best builds are evolving fast, and honestly, it's redefining what custom even means. So in this video, I want to take you through the trends that I spotted at SEMA 2025, and what they might mean for the future of the custom car world. One of the biggest things that stood out this year was just how many builders are now working at a full OEM design studio standard. The perfect example is the Ring Brothers Aston Martin Octavia. This thing felt like it rolled straight out of a global design studio. You could park it next to something like Holden's Effigy concept and it would absolutely hold its own. These workshops aren't just custom garages anymore, they're boutique micro manufacturers with access to the same tools that the big automakers use. Full digital scanning, advanced 3D modeling, CNC machining and additive manufacturing. And the exciting part? This tech isn't staying exclusive for long. As 3D scanning and CAD tools drop in price, smaller shops and even DIYs at home are gaining access to the same capabilities. That means more creativity, better fit and finish, and more big ideas coming to life. A huge part of that shift is the 3D design revolution, because everywhere you look this year, CAD and 3D printed components were front and center. Spoilers, grills, lighting, interior hardware, even full exterior panels, all digitally designed. This technology has unlocked a new level of creative freedom. Ideas that once lived only in a sketchbook can now be built in the real world with millimeter precision. It's letting builders think like designers and letting designers finally build like fabricators. But here's the important part. The tech is only as good as the designer behind it. Some builds nailed the integration, clean, cohesive, and beautifully balanced, while some others felt like parts were 3D printed just because they could be. I'm not going to highlight these ones. The best builds use 3D design as an invisible backbone, not a gimmick. Inside the cockpit, the quality has jumped to an entirely new level, with more builders embracing true OEM concept car interior design. We're well past the days of bolting in an off-the-shelf seat or retrimming factory dashboards. Builders are scanning entire cabins, redesigning them digitally, and machining or printing completely bespoke components. The result is interiors that feel like they've rolled out of an OEM studio, but with the personality of a one-off custom build. Smooth flowing consoles, precision milled switchgear, integrated lighting, CNC sculpted door cards, even the digital screens and dash clusters feel properly integrated now, not like last-minute additions. Everything feels intentional, cohesive, and beautifully executed. On the colour and finishes front, 2025 didn't seem to really give us one dominant trend, and that's what kind of made it so interesting. Subdued metallics and pastels were still strong, but there were plenty of gloss blacks, bright solids, and a surprising number of clean, understated finishes. Satin colour-matched or satin black engine bays remained massively popular. There were a few colours that still really stood out. Kuhnhausen's Metal Concepts Sirius 66 Corvette with that deep metallic blue. Mike Goldman Customs 64 Corvette with a subtle, elegant tone. And Vinny's Hot Rods Mach 1 Mustang, wearing that unique metallic green that may have looked odd on a paint card, but transforms as soon as it hits the panels. And speaking of unexpected trends, the return of the hubcap look was one of the most surprising themes of SEMA 2025. Builders and wheel makers were reimagining factory-inspired or hubcap-style designs in larger diameters, and it looked incredible. Rad Rides by Troy, 1936 Ford Roadster, the Battle of the Builders winner, rolled on custom wheels inspired by classic OE styling. Chip Foose's 56 Lincoln Continental had beautiful turbine-style wheels. They looked straight out of a 1950s design sketch. And the Riddler-winning Grey Matter 1955 Nomad went all in with hubcap-inspired wheels and red ring tyres. Even the big brands like Forgeline, Shot, and US Mags had OE-inspired styles on display. It's a classy, refined blend of nostalgia, and I think it's sticking around for a while. Under the bonnet, we're clearly entering the direct injection era, with LT and Coyote engines becoming the new favourites for high-end builds. The supercharged LT4 in particular is quickly becoming the go-to choice, stepping into the space the LS has dominated for years. And with LS crate engines becoming harder to source, it makes sense that builders are pivoting to the newer direct injection platforms. They're modern, they're powerful, and they're future ready. Ford's 5-litre Coyote tells a similar story. There's more of them every year, and with tuning support improving, they're only going to grow from here. It all points towards a new era of swaps based around these newer, more complex factory engines. Another big trend shaping the show was the rise of designer-led, Reimagined Classics. Built to take a timeless shape and rethink it through a modern design lens. Dave Kindig's already exploring this with his CF1 Corvettes, and this year Blazin' Rods unveiled their hybrid, all-wheel drive, 1600 horsepower, 69 Camaro concept, which they plan to build in limited numbers. They had a 1:3 scale clay model on display, as well as digital 3D renders and a full-sized front-end assembly showing the hybrid drivetrain and suspension layout. Now the idea isn't new. Companies like Singer and Gunther Works proved it works. But seeing hot rod and muscle car builders enter the space feels like a genuine turning point. Thanks to scanning, CAD, 3D printing and digital modelling, a single workshop can now achieve what only major automakers could do just a couple of years ago. The result is cars that feel brand new, yet stay deeply connected to their heritage. And honestly, if an Aussie workshop unveiled something like Holden's Effigy today and said they were building a handful for collectors, I don't think anyone would doubt that it couldn't be possible. All this leads to one big takeaway. The custom car industry has reached a point where almost anything is possible. Technology has leveled the playing field, craftsmanship has caught up with imagination, and creativity is absolutely thriving. And the best part is, this isn't just for the elite shops anymore. As 3D scanning, CAD, and 3D printing become more accessible, small workshops and even DIYers now have the power to design and build at a professional level. It's an exciting time to be part of the scene. The future of custom car design isn't just about what the big names build next. It's about what we can create ourselves. Thanks again for watching. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into design and the tech side of SEMA 2025, hit like, drop a comment, and let me know which trend or build stood out to you most. And if you want more design breakdowns, 3D workflows, and project insights, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And remember, go all in, build something incredible, and live your dream. I'll see you in the next one.